Hey YouTube, how's it going? Buster here. So this is just a wee video I'm going to slide in between the Budapest or bus videos, which go up every Sunday at 5 o'clock. Some of the stuff I wish I had when I was doing the videos, or I'd sorted out before then. So what I'm going to talk about is phone cases, my setup for my sat nav, mics, stuff like that that I kind of use to do my videos. So first thing, we'll cover the phone cases first. So I'm not affiliated with them and I'm not sponsored by them, but if they want to sponsor me, they can contact me. So my phone case I use is the Ultimate add-ons. I bought this for the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and it also fits the 15 Pro Max, same case. Phones are the same size. Brilliant. I had this going through a full day of Germany when the rain was belting off the street. It was flooding out roads. My phone was fine. Even in the heat, didn't overheat my phone. The only time my phone actually overheat, believe it or not, was when it was in the tank bag. It overheat in the tank bag, it never overheat in this. So this is brilliant. So I don't really use this anymore, but I still take it with me. So it either goes in my tank bag or it goes in my pillion seat bag, which is that bag up there, just as a backup, because you never know what's going to happen. So the Africa Twin that I've got, the 2022, it needs to be wired in to the bike for your sat nav to work, and also you need an earpiece as well, or a Bluetooth headset, which obviously I've got the Cardo. So just in case anything happens, cable goes, anything, I've got this as a backup. So what I use now is, due to the fact that the iPhone 15 has got connection issues with the Africa Twin 2022 model. Don't know about the 2024. The 2022 and 2023 are the same bike. I think mine's the kind of start, the transition from the older model into 2023, so they're pretty much the same bike, I think. I'm not too sure about the 2024 model, if the software's updated or not, I'm not sure. But there is a connection issue with 15 onwards due to the USB-C. So the iPhone 14 definitely worked. You could put the sat nav onto your TFT screen. So I found that out. Well, I didn't really use a TFT screen until I happened to mention it on a video, that the reason why I didn't use it was because I wanted to see the rider modes. But then somebody said if you flick a certain button, you can actually flick between them. So I tried it when I was in Budapest, and this is how I found out the connection for the 15 that isn't really that great. So it will connect, you will be able to use the sat nav, but if you flick the button going from modes to your sat nav, it cuts it, and then it just says your phone isn't connected. So to overcome that, I use an iPhone 12 Pro. Now I'm not made of money. It's not the fact I haven't out and bought this to do this. So what happened was, this was my phone originally, then I upgraded to the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Then my son wanted a new phone because he'd smashed this. So he'd smashed the screen and smashed the back of the phone. And once you smash the back of the phone of the 12s, they're pretty much, iPhone will only touch them after that, because it costs more money to replace the back than what the phone's worth. So I was due an upgrade, and I wanted a phone that I could edit on, so I didn't have to take a laptop and stuff. So I ended up with an iPhone 15 Pro Max with 1TB memory. So this was kicking about the house. So when I came back from Budapest, I dug it out. It's basically a mirror image of my iPhone 15, except I've deleted all the useless apps off it. So basically all it's got on it is Calimoto, Spotify, Google Maps and WhatsApp. That's it. How I get internet to it, I just use my phone personal hotspot, tether it to it, plug it into the bike and it works fine. My Cardle works, everything works. I've tried it a few times now, every run since Budapest, that's the setup I've used. Excuse me. So yeah, so I've got the ultimate add-ons for this as well. Because what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you're an iPhone user, you'll know, if you put two iPhones together, they'll basically constantly try and airdrop to each other. So I was finding that was happening. So this is going to live on the handlebars where you would normally put it. This will be in my pocket and then this will be a backup just in case, because that's a bigger screen and it's about the size of a sat-nav screen. So worst case scenario, the cable failed, the internet failed, the cardle ran out of battery, because as soon as the cardle runs out of battery, your TFT screen will shut off. I can still use my big phone. So I've always got backup. But mainly, this will be connected to my TFT and this will be my sat-nav. And it's just in case, I know the phone's broke, but I don't want it to get any worse. So it'll just live in this case for now. So that's the ultimate add-on cases that I've got. I've also got, on the bike at the moment, I've got the ratchet system. So it's just like it's just like a band with kind of grooves in it and a corkscrew. So you just pull the band round, slide it underneath, and then turn it and it tightens up like a ratchet strap really. But I got this as well, so this is going to change out for this. And there's rubber inserts for this that you can attach it to any size of tubing on your bike. And I'm thinking about getting the GoPro mount for it, which is just like a flat plate. Then you put your normal GoPro mount to it, which means then I could even use this or my other one to attach the GoPro to any point of the bike to get a different shot. So that's the plan for that. So talking about sat navs or what app I use. So I use Calimoto, and the reason why I chose Calimoto was I was using my route app that my brother put me onto, but I think it's really designed for Android phones. It seems really clunky and a lot more faffing about to get what you want to do. So I used that in Luxembourg and I used it at Budapest, but very rarely. Most of the time at that point I was using the TomTom Go app. So then that, I think it was September there, that shut down. And then I tried Calimoto for the free trial. Loved it, paid for it. Didn't take any of the discount codes or anything. I paid the full price for it. I think it's 50 quid a year. So I've got the full one for a year. So that's what I use for my sat-nav. And I'll show you on the 12, which I think's a really good. The good point about it is every road, I don't know if you can see that, every road that you've rode along, it keeps a log of it. So you can see where you've been and what road you've been doing before. If you liked it, you can tag it and stuff like that. Works pretty much the same as the TomTom Go. You can plan a route, create a round trip and record your trip, which it kind of does anyway when you do a route. You can plan routes on it. I've planned the Budapest 2026 run on it. You can see it there. So yeah, brilliant. Downside of it, you can only do up to 2,000 miles. So when I've did the Budapest trips, I've had to do the trip from Cali to Budapest and Budapest back to Cali. So I can't put in from here to Budapest and Budapest back to here. But at the end of the day, when I'm going to or over to Europe, I just straight down the motorway in one go. Either stay the night in Portsmouth or get across the water and stay in Cali. So that's the sat nav that I use. So transitioning into other apps that I use. So when I done the trips or routes, the two guys that are coming with me at the moment don't have bikes, and they're not planning to get bikes till probably July next year. So for me to show them the route that I've planned for Budapest 2026, they weren't willing to pay the £50 for Calimoto because they're not going to really use it until July, so they're wasting like 6 months, couple of months of it. So I found an app called BikeGPX. So when you plan a route on Calimoto, you can export the GPX and save it to your files. Then if you save it to your files and you send it to someone on WhatsApp, WhatsApp's the best. I've found the best way to send it to somebody is WhatsApp. Then I don't know how Android kind of works, I'm not an Android person, but on WhatsApp anyway, for iPhone, if you press and hold it, it'll come up and ask you if you want to save it, share it. So you just save it to your files. And then when you open the GPX, which is a free app, you just go to select route and hit add route there. And it'll ask you where you want to retrieve the route from. And it says use GPX from this device. You click on that, and then if you find the route, I've got a couple, I've got the Budapest. If you press that, it will download it onto the app, and then you can open the routes. You can see there, and then that's you can basically start riding the routes and stuff. So it's a kind of handy little backup as well. Free to download. The good thing is, one of the good things about it is so I'll open it up again and show you. If you look at the top, there's a QR code. So if you did that and somebody else has got somebody else you're riding with that hasn't got the BikeGPX route, they scan that and it will download it onto their phone with that route. It's quite a cool idea. So that would be handy for somebody. They might not be too sure about what app to use for their sat nav, and if they've got a GPX route that they want to follow, but they've not got their sat nav app won't let them load one up. So yeah, BikeGPX. That's a good app to have. So then the other app I use, Quick App, for this. So what I do with the Quick App is when I do my edit for my videos, I'll do it without any intro and title. So the bit that says welcome to Buster ADV Biker, I'll do it without that, or any of the bits that I put up. And then I'll put it into Quick App and make a wee short video, and then that wee video that I make out of that is the one that I put up on TikTok and Instagram and stuff. And then I'll go back in and then put all my other wee bits on it for the actual video that comes up on YouTube. So that's why I use Quick App. That's the way I use Quick App anyway. The other app that's quite handy that I've only just found but I will be using. So the issue that I've got takes me ages. I can do it, but it takes me ages. Is to line up the footage from the GoPro 11 that faces me, GoPro 11, and the one for my helmet cam. So I bought a GoPro remote, a GoPro remote. 20 quid I got it. It was one day I was at one of these CEX shops or sex shops, if you want to call it that. 20 quid. Tried it. It links them up, but it doesn't work that good. So I was messing about the other night and I found you can actually download an app for your phone. So this is called Multipro, it's called. So I've already linked to the cameras up. Then all you do is select the ones you want to start at the same time, then hit record. That's it. And that's it. You can I think it's up to 6 cameras you can do. I'll only ever need 4. So, but majority of the time mine's going to be 2. Why 4? Because I've got obviously the 10, which is going to be a backup camera, or if I want a different shot without dismantling my helmet, and the GoPro that's attached to my drone. That's it. So that's the apps that I use. Trying to think anything else. Yeah, so that's all the kind of that. Oh, yeah. So what the editing app that I use is called LumaFusion. Pretty easy to use. So once I get the videos from the camera, which I'll explain how I do that in a minute, onto my phone, save them to files. I just bring them in. If you go to imported images and hit file app there, that'll bring all your videos in, and then you just hit my projects, start a project, and then just drag them in order. Which I've noticed with the 12, the footage is longer than what the 10 is. The 10's every 14.5 minutes. The 11 is every 20 minutes, and this, the last time I looked at it, it was the full 30 minutes that because this is the second time I've tried this video. And then that's when I add all my transitions and stuff. Now if anybody wants me to go through how I edit a video on LumaFusion, I'll maybe do that. If you leave a comment, if that's what you want to see, I'll maybe do that. So then getting the footage from my camera to the phone to edit them. So what I use is basically just a SD card, a wee stick you put your SD card in. Now it's got a USB on one side and a USB-C on the other. The USB-C does fit into the iPhone 15, but it means I need to take it out of the case to do it. So to stop that, I've got an extension. So I'll just put in USB, it turns into USB-C, and then click it into the phone. That's it. Saves me taking the case off. Then if you go into files, between the on my phone and recently deleted, untitled would come up there. Click on it, you get your videos, pull them all off, stick them onto save files, and then that's when you can start taking them from into your LumaFusion to do the editing. That's kind of how I do it. Upside, it's pretty quick, don't need to take a laptop or iPad with you. My phone is a 1TB one, so I can do everything on my phone. Cheaper than buying multiple devices. Also, bad thing is you have to have the footage on your phone, and then when you put it in LumaFusion, it makes a backup, and then you have to then, before you delete it all from your files and your backup, you need to put it into your photos to then upload it onto YouTube. So you need a lot of space to do that. You could probably get away with a 256 phone to do it, but 1TB. I had on my SSD, I had nearly 10 days worth of footage on that, then another 2 on the phone. So if you're using anything older than a 15, the issue you're going to have is you can only put stuff on the device, you can't take it off. So if that was going to be a 14 I was using, I'd need to use a pass-through. And what that is I would have my SD card in there, I would put this into the pass-through, and I'd have to have power to that. And that's the only way you can transfer stuff in. You can't transfer stuff out that way, but you can with the 15 because of USB-C, because it's designed to power that, and it's designed to power that to do your transfers. Up to iPhone 14 you need a pass-through to do it, and the pass-through only goes one way. Which I found out, that's how I ended up upgrading to the 15. So, but it takes a lot to put your files forward and back. So that's, if you tried that with a 14, it wouldn't work. It has to be a 15 onwards, or a certain date of iPad or whatever for that to work. So yeah, we're going to mics and stuff and talking about pass-throughs. So I've got a wireless lav mic. So this comes in a pair. This is your receiver, these are your transmitters. Because of the iPhone can power devices that you plug into it, with this you don't need to put power through that, but it's got a built-in pass-through. So if you put it in your phone, don't need power, the phone will power it. If you're going to use it for your GoPro, you need to put power into it. It will not work because the GoPro is not designed to put power into it and back out to power the transmitter or receiver, whatever they call this. I think this is the receiver, I think. So yeah, just be mindful of that. I think that's with any, most wireless lavalier mics. It's depending on the device, depending if it will power that or not. Because originally what I was going to do was, before I found the remote, was because I've got this wired into the bike constantly, I was going to put that in there. And then where is it? This is the cable that I put into the bike, because it comes into the, I call it a cigarette lighter, but you know what I mean. And then I was going to put that inside my helmet, so then that would help me sync the two cameras. But it does work, but very intermittently. It's no, yeah, anything just takes a wee knock and that's it, knackered it. So yeah, it comes with two microphones. So if you want to do an interview or something, you can give somebody else the mic. But yeah, that's, and I bought them because I wanted to justify how much I used them before I bought a Rode mic. So, but I don't really use them that often. But they're handy to have, and these ones are not that expensive. So yeah. So just be aware of that if you do buy these certain devices, you'll need to put power through it for it to work. So there you go, that's that mic. So in the mic I've got on here, this lav mic, this is a, Scottish people laugh, it's called a jobby mic. This is the one that I bought to go inside my helmet next to the speaker of the Cardo, so I could pick up the conversations through the Cardo. It took me ages to find a mic this size. I was in Curry's yesterday and they're selling them in Curry's for $32.99. If you go into Amazon, you'll get them for $14.99, exact same ones. So this is a spare, but this is the one I've got inside my helmet. The one that I speak into, this is the mono version, but I've got a stereo one, so it's like I don't know what you would call a rat tail type one. And the one I've got, it's got a foam on the top of it. It did have a windsock, but I think that's what was making it muffled. And this is the one that I speak into inside my helmet. So that's on that side, and then my Cardo one's on the other. From what I can tell, I've kind of got the mic sorted now, hopefully. And I can record anything that comes out the Cardo speaker, because I've done it with music So yeah, this is the splitter that I use for the two microphones. Now I said in another video this was mic, I kept saying mic, but this is actually a headphone splitter, and there's a chip in it rather than a capacitor. If it was a capacitor, like the pass-through, like this pass-through only goes one way. That's because it's got a capacitor in it, a capacitor designed to go one way. This has just got a chip in it, so you can use it both ways. So you know, it's for headphones, you can use it for mics, and it splits the signal on both sides. So both mics get split and become stereo. So yeah, so that's a spare one that I've got. And the bit of tape, and how I know about the chip, that's why it's got a bit of tape around it. Because the one that I sorted out on my own helmet split open when I tidied it up, the tape and stuff. So yeah, that's the splitter. I've got it, there's links on it in one of the other videos. Trying to think, oh, this is the infamous waste of money. This is the Sony lav mic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug the jobby mic, we'll call it, this one. I'm going to unplug this and I'm going to plug this in and we'll see the difference. So this is the jobby and this is the Sony mic. So when this was in the helmet, this was peaking constantly because it's such a good mic. So just to hear the difference. So everything up to this was the jobby mic, and then this is the Sony mic. So try to think of anything else. Yeah, always carry a battery pack with me as well. This is a juice one. This is quite a big one. This is handy. I've used this a couple of times where I can charge stuff off of my Africa Twin, but if you're going to go a long day and I've got my phone plugged in, I've got my GoPro 11 plugged in facing me, maybe have both phones plugged in, you might not have anywhere else to charge your batteries. This will charge them. It charges them slower, but it does charge them. But it is handy. I've used it for long days where I've had to charge my cardo, charge my phone off it. And it's, the last time I put any charge on this was probably like August. It's still got full bars. And you can use it, if you've only got one plug, you can charge multiple things off it and use this as a pass-through as well, which is quite good. So you can plug one plug in there and have, I think, 3 USBs at it, which is quite cool. Try to turn it off. I've got, for my cameras, I've got 4 Enduro batteries. I've got 1 blue battery. They've stopped doing the blue battery for GoPros now, and these are another 3 Chinese batteries. What I'll say about these, if you do use these, what might happen is when you put them in, it will come up and say battery lower. Just take it out, get a couple of seconds and put it back in. For some reason, I think there must be something to do with these. There must be something that the camera knows that these are not the real batteries, because it happens to me quite a bit. And I only use these. These are like a proper backup if I've expelled every battery. I've got 5 batteries. The blue GoPro ones are a proper backup. 4 Enduro batteries. And obviously you can get about an hour. I think it's about an hour. An Enduro battery, I think it's about an hour and 10 minutes, I think. But I always kind of aim for the hour, just in case you can't find anybody else to stop. So say about an hour, so that's 4 hours of battery. And then you've got your Enduro, the wee blue one, I think it lasts for about 40 minutes. These last in between. These are about, I think these are an hour. Enduro battery's about an hour and 20 minutes. And the normal blue battery for the GoPros are about 40 minutes. From my experience, they might be different depending on you. So yeah, that's everything so far, I think. So if there's anything you want me to go into detail about, just comment below if you want to know more about LumaFusion editing. It's very simple, LumaFusion. If you do get it, don't expect weird and wonderful things with it. It's a basic editing, but it does exactly what I want to do. I'm thinking about changing my editing app, but just now it does everything I want it to do just now. Yeah. If you want to know more about the BikeGPX, give me a shout. I'll maybe stick a link into it in the description below. But yeah, that's kind of it. So it's just a wee kind of stick in video, just to in between these other videos, because the ones for Budapest are going to keep my channel going while obviously winter and the wind and stuff. So as I said, Merry Christmas, hope Santa's good to you, Happy New Year when it comes. Look out for more videos, there will be more. Thanks for everybody who's liked, subscribed, shared and comment. Hopefully no be long for I'm up to 500. I think the last time I checked I was at 310, I think. So hopefully keep getting more. Yeah, so stay rubber side down. Take life 1 mile at a time. And catch you later.